Hello, and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Neff.
I'm Derek Kaufman.
Wow, Derek in the building.
Love it. You love to see it, don't you?
Yeah, I love to see it.
I know we're going
no
to some
Charlie
court,
Cotton.
right? We're going to court if I'm here.
Absolutely.
All right.
And one of the biggest trials has been going down with A$AP Rocky. He stepped out last night with Rihanna, and they seem pretty unbothered. We'll get all into that today. We're also going to be covering Heather McDonald has a wild theory about this whole Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively war that's been brewing. She thinks Ryan Reynolds is the real issue here. And then lastly, Martha Stewart is revealing what gets her naked. And it's pretty interesting.
You don't expect those words to go together. What gets Martha
know.
Stewart naked? But we are going to get into it.
By the way, we are live today. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any comments about any of these stories, please leave your comments. Our amazing producers, Wild and Branson, are combing through them, and we will get to them at the very end of the show.
Please leave a comment, because right now on our board is just Martha Stewart sexually eating a strawberry. And I'd love to replace
Derek,
it with
don't
some...
spoil it. By the way, if you have anything to say about Derek, do you want him to replace Charlie Cotton? Let us know.
You are starting a coup in here.
Anything you want to say, even if it's about us, about the show, comments, questions, suggestions, let us know. Okay.
The straw that stirs the drink, Charlie Neff.
All right, let's get started with Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. So A$AP Rocky has been in trial. He's
Trial.
in court.
The trial is
Yeah,
going.
he's been in trial for allegedly shooting A$AP Rocky. And it's getting like hot in court. Rihanna has not been to court yet, but we are told she is supposed to make an appearance.
Yes.
But last night they hit the town in LA, and it seems like pretty happy-go-lucky.
This is a huge show of support, right?
Yes.
They've been together now for some time. They have children together.
Yep.
They hit the town for dinner at a place called Verse, which is this swanky LA restaurant.
Have you heard of it before?
I haven't heard of it.
I haven't either.
But I've seen the pictures, and it looks like a place to be seen, right?
Yeah.
This is a sort of a show of support, a very public show of support, not sitting in court. That would be the next big step up, because maybe she could make eye contact with some jurors and maybe sway them one way or another. But going out to dinner with him is showing, I'm unbothered by this. I pled not guilty. A$AP Rocky rejected a plea deal that would have seen basically 180 days behind bars, which would have been cut to maybe 90 days when it's all said and done, and some probation. He did not want that. He was worried he'd lose his endorsement deals. He was worried that his career would be over. So he's going to trial. Now, in the trial is very interesting to me as well, because A$AP Rocky, former good friend, A$AP Mob is the whole conglomerate of A$AP people.
I love you explaining this.
A$AP Rocky
you
being the big one.
It's cracking me up.
So A$AP Rocky took the stand, and he said he couldn't believe that his friend pulled a gun on him and then shot him. There's video evidence of someone holding a gun. It's presumably A$AP Rocky. They were in a verbal confrontation. I'm not sure what this defense is going to look like, other than maybe self-defense. But in the video, only one guy's holding a gun. You can't really pull a gun and say you need to defend yourself unless there's deadly force on the other side of that equation. I think that's why they're pushing this. And I think A$AP Rocky's got an uphill battle here, because A$AP Rocky is saying, look, I know people don't like snitches, but my friend shot me, and I want him to sort of pay the consequences for that.
Oh my gosh. And we were told that Rihanna is supposed to come into court, be like in the stands?
In the gallery.
In the gallery, yeah.
Well, let me ask you, how will that play? If you're a juror, put yourself in the position of sitting in the jury and seeing Rihanna. Are you starstruck? Do you think it's a cheap move?
Starstruck for sure.
Do you think it's a cheap move, though? Would you hold it against A$AP Rocky? Like, oh, you brought your girlfriend here?
Because that is his girlfriend, baby mama, like possibly wife. I mean, we don't really know like what their actual status is. I mean, if Mary was on the stand for something, right?
Crying with a box of Kleenex.
I could see you there with your kids.
Yeah, sure.
Dixon and Carter.
We might show up if it's in our schedule.
Yeah.
We got a packed schedule, though. We got to get to Disney and stuff.
Like, I feel like you have to support your spouse, right? It just so happens Rihanna is like a mega mogul. Like, you can't like see her in the gallery and think like you're going to be thinking like,
I completely agree. I think she has to thread the needle, though. She can't come in full glam mode. She can't come in Rihanna.
You think dressed down.
Yes. I think she has to come in as the doting, mother of their children,
Like she's
sort
a
of
regular
conservative.
citizen.
Yes, because then it doesn't look like a move. Then it looks like
Right.
she's just supporting someone who's a part of her family. And
Imagine she comes in with this big fur coat,
If she
like
comes in,
so dramatic, wearing Fenty like lingerie
yes,
under
a full wind machine blowing on her. It could look bad, but I think they're going to pull it off. I think he's got a hotshot attorney. This is a tough case for him to win. When you see that video testimony and you hear A$AP Rocky,
like the evidence,
it looks open
there.
and shut. It looks like he shot a gun. He's been accused of assault with a semi-automatic weapon. That's what it seems like you're looking at.
Yeah.
So this is still a tough case. I think Rihanna is an X factor though, and I think they're planning to bring her.
Do you think she does help sway his side?
I do. I think she has so much goodwill. I think it could backfire in some ways with certain jurors if they're like, oh, come on, man. This is about you. Don't try to sway me with Rihanna. But with most people, they're just going to be starstruck. And they're going to say, like, anything I could do for you.
Yeah. And it's like they're putting their reputation on the line to kind of like show like this person is a good person or like innocent, kind of like what we saw with Megan Good.
Yes.
With Jonathan Majors.
Yes.
Jonathan Majors, like, didn't seem like a great guy. But then when you have Megan Good in the mix, like,
it's right in the name there. Her name
like,
is good. It's truly like a halo effect.
She's beloved.
Yes.
So when she came in, it's like, oh,
shines a nice little light, of angelic light over Jonathan Majors. It's right. It's a real effect. So we'll see. Rihanna could definitely do that. Could backfire there. I just want to say, it could sink them both. If she comes in and people hold it against them, now both of their reputations are tarnished. He's a guy who shoots his friends. She's someone who's ride or die with a guy who shoots his friend. So there's a chance, a small chance, that it backfires, but I think it's mostly good.
We'll see. We'll see. So moving on to Heather McDonald. I mean, everyone's been weighing in with theories about Ryan Reynolds kind of being maybe behind all of this legal battle that's been going on with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. They're falling out on the set of It Ends With Us. Our camera person got out Heather McDonald, and here's what she had to say about it.
I think Ryan got jealous and inserted himself, and then when the movie came out and it wasn't going in their way as far as favorable press, then I think he was like, screw this guy and we're going for it. Or if anybody on their team was like, maybe they did a smear campaign. But now it's too late. Now they are appearing to be the bullies that Justin says they are.
Wow.
I like the theory. She's always got sort of a very strong take. And when I heard that voice note for the first time, I thought, man, if I was if I was Ryan Reynolds and I heard this like 2-minute voice note at 2 a.m. or sorry, 6-minute voice note where his voice is down, sultry, said he wants all of her. There's certain like turns of phrase where I'd be like, I don't think I like this. And
Derek, if you got a voice note like that, you would love it. I can see you going to the bathroom away from your wife and listening to it.
I would love it. Blake Lively called me and said she wanted all of me, but Mary would have other views of this, and I think he might have gotten a little bit jealous. And I flip-flop. I go back and forth because the more evidence that comes out, here's where I'm shifting towards Baldoni. He released something that isn't entirely positive for him. Right. And so I think that's interesting because everything that Blake has released is in an effort to make Justin Baldoni look bad. It is sort of like universally, she sort of frames it that way. He's saying, I'm giving you everything. There's going to be some unflattering stuff. All of me, just open robe. And, there can be a sort of power in that, right? Because then you see like, oh, he's just showing the receipts and he'll take the good and the bad.
Yeah.
She's only cherry picking sort of the stuff that forms her narrative. Do you think that? Because when he released this, I was like, it kind of makes him look bad.
Yeah, but then at the same time, like, people are saying, like, this is just him, an example of him kind of cowering to Blake, which has been his whole defense, has been, she totally took over the movie. I was the director.
Yes.
This was my production company, and I had no choice but, to kind of do everything she wanted because, all these bullies she had, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, and, the voice note does kind of show an example of that, of him being like apologetic, like, I'm so sorry, I loved your rewrite, and it does kind of show that.
It does. It shows that he thought she brought in these two dragons for her, Ryan and Taylor Swift, and that he felt a little bit bullied. Now, I don't give him so much quarter to say he felt totally bullied. He's leaving a 6-minute voice note at 2 a.m. So there was a cordial relationship at some point where they felt they could talk to each other. This isn't a star
and she was always texting him as well.
It wasn't like you can't make eye contact with me. I'm the superstar on a movie set and you just do your job and don't talk to me until we're rolling cameras. It sounds like they had a rapport. But it's a little bit, I think this helps him. I really do. I think that's why he released it. I do. I think it starts to show the holistic nature of this relationship.
Yeah.
And it started to look like he felt bullied. Whether he was bullied, I don't know, but he felt it.
I do think like a couple of the things that he said were creepy,
Oh, yeah.
right? Which has been like her whole thing. But at the same time, it doesn't show sexual harassment.
Yeah, I think we throw that term around pretty
Yeah.
loosely. I think what you're hearing in that voice note doesn't sound like sexual harassment in the most egregious sense. I know there's a lot more sensitivity in workplaces, and you need to sort of mind your P's and Q's about people's feelings. But you're a woman in the workplace. Did this feel like harassment to
I
you?
don't think it felt like harassing at all, but I definitely think like there were certain parts where I was like, "Ugh, that's
Yes.
like gross." But again, not like career ending
Yes.
comments.
Yeah, they're like trying to bury each other and suing each
Yeah.
other for hundreds of millions of dollars. This
Yeah.
is wild over this because it looks a lot more nuanced. It doesn't look crazy. This doesn't look like a Harvey Weinstein lawsuit or a Diddy lawsuit or a Bill Cosby lawsuit. This looks
Right.
like a workplace where maybe it was unpleasant. Maybe your skin crawls a little bit when he says something cringy, but to sue someone for that much money and try
Yeah.
to sort of end their careers, this has gotten way out of control. What's odd is I don't know where this leads. Like we have a bunch of dribs and drabs
And that's
coming
kind of
out.
what
What's
Heather
the
says.
lawsuit
Like,
look
what it happens next?
Yeah.
Like, do they actually go to trial? Like, does Taylor Swift take the stands? Like, I mean, it's gonna get like super nasty, but also like, imagine if it is revealed that Blake and Justin did have a thing for each other, and
Oh
that's
my.
why this went south. Like, everyone's theory, including Heather's, is that like Ryan saw all these texts and like
Yes.
felt like, what is happening? We're gonna end this. Like he was out in a rage. Look, is that the case? We don't know.
I
but-
don't know. I think all the parties need to get into a room. This is not meant for courtrooms. This just
Yeah.
seems sort of silly to me. Is a jury going to award hundreds of millions of dollars to one side of this? It seems outrageous. Not
Right,
enough went on.
right.
They should take the attention. The public is fascinated by this and spin it into something positive. They just got to get into a room. This is not so bad that it needs to go to a trial and we need to
Right.
waste judicial resources on this. At least that's my take. This is not crazy enough that we need to like involve courts. Which
Yeah,
is how it
I
feels to me.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Okay, moving on to our last and final story, and probably the best
My favorite
story.
one.
Yeah. So Martha Stewart posted on social media. Well, by the way, she is 83 years old, still looking good. She is revealing what turns her on and what gets her nude, and we'll play the video for you.
Juicy, delicious. Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. What gets me in the nude? How about a strawberry, fresh picked from the garden? Best in the hot sun. Honey? Golden amber. Makes a mess.
I am dying.
The honey one is just over the
it's
top.
like coming down her like chin. It's so
She's
sexual.
seductively dripping honey. Did you watch the Martha documentary on Netflix?
Yes, I
So-
loved it.
I love her whole story because she started off as a model and
Yeah.
she's sort of tapping back into that just physical glamour part.
Yeah.
For so long, she was like a cook and fussy about pine cones, centerpieces, and all that stuff.
I mean, she went to jail too.
She went to
like-
jail, did some time, did a
Prison.
bid. She's
Yeah.
buddies with Snoop Dogg. This is fascinating to me. She's so sort of dialed into her persona now that she does this stuff. It's for a commercial, right?
Yeah.
And look at all the attention it's getting. We're discussing it as a story because this 80-year-old woman is sexually eating strawberries and honey.
Yeah.
And now she's getting a ton of free press. She's kind of a genius, right?
Yeah, totally. But she doesn't get naked.
No,
Were
no
you-
naked.
I was like kind of waiting for that for her because she's wearing this robe, right? I was waiting
Yes.
for her to like. We don't have to see anything, obviously,
I
but for
mean-
her to just like slip it off and like walk away or something.
Oh,
That's
you wanted a full seductive sort of
Yeah.
striptease.
Kinda. I mean, she's saying like, "Oh, what gets me nude," but like doesn't get nude.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't
That's
know.
true. Maybe sort of a sheer top or something. Maybe you can paint a picture with the robe and the walk off. I don't know. Now I'm going to my place.
Okay,
I don't know.
all right. You're like
really,
closing your eyes now. I don't know what
you're
happened.
really painting a picture. Let's go to the comments now.
All right, starting with the ASAP Rocky trial and Rihanna stepping out with him last night at a restaurant. Bezo Lego said, "I think this will backfire having Rihanna in the courtroom. It's too artificially set up."
I love this comment. I'm like Bezo Lego. Love that name. Don't know what it means. But I think when things are too contrived, you're not giving the public enough credit. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people like see things for what they are. And Harvey made this point earlier or last week where he said, perception's everything. If you go surfing and look happy, the world will think you're happy. I was like, not the whole world. We're
Right.
pretty cynical in our room and maybe overly cynical, but a lot of the world knows what's up.
Right, they know it's like a card that you're
Yeah,
playing.
I don't like you playing me.
Yeah. Heather said Riri should ride for her man, and we all know she is about that life. Doesn't change my opinion of her at all.
There you go. No
Yep,
backfire.
She is ride or die. For the Heather McDonald clip about Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, Desiree said, he said, I would have felt the same way about you without the bullying of Ryan and Taylor. Basically, be confident yourself.
Yeah, there was that part of it because
Yeah.
that's been a whole thing. He's like, you could have had me accept your script changes without bringing out the big guns, your two
Right,
dragons. And
right.
that's what that whole exchange was about. He is trying to sort of like puff her up, but I'm not sure she felt that way because she brought in her dragons.
Right.
Right.
And she explained in a text message, like, they're my support system when I feel too, like, you know, I don't want to
not being
speak up
listened
for
to.
myself. Yeah, that kind of thing. Oh, no comments about Martha Stewart. I'm shocked. Everyone's still in shock right now.
Too
They're,
steamy.
like,
No one can
still
touch their keyboard.
thinking.
Yeah.
A couple miscellaneous comments, though. Heather A. said, hey, yay, hey, Wild, Charlie, and Derek. Wow, Wild getting the shout out.
Look at producer Wild over
And
there.
they knew how to spell Wild's name. That's awesome. Which is W-Y-L-D.
We don't have to read that last one.
Eminem said, love Derek, but Mr. Cotton is what makes this podcast fun.
He is a joy to listen to.
Yes, yes.
So I guess one vote against me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Derek. You know what? You were lovely today.
Thank you. It's always lovely to spend time with you, Charlie.
Oh, likewise. Did you
like
do you
my
have
little
any,
sister.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Oh my goodness, you put me on the spot.
Yeah?
I really want they're boring ones. You have resolutions now about your kids when you become a parent, and I want
What?
I want-
Really?
yeah, I do at least. I don't know.
Oh.
Listen, life has passed me by already. There's no more.
That
there's no
is
more
the saddest thing. You're not dead and like in your grave, Derek.
on the inside.
I mean, you have like the salt
On
and
the, on
pepper.
the inside, it's rotting. Okay?
Oh no.
But Carter's my one hope. I want him to play baseball and have a really good season out there.
Oh, I love that. All right. Well, sounds good to me. That sounds very cute.
How about you? New Year's resolution?
Just to be like the best I've ever looked.
Okay.
It's not going well. It's not starting off well. I
There's
screwed
Charlie.
myself.
Gets out the rod before
No,
it ends.
I did like the bangs, like trying to do like a new, and now they're like to the side. I'm like over them, you guys.
I love the bangs, but they do take a lot of work. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I got to get back to my old look. My old look is coming back, and then we'll elevate that. Okay, anyway.
You could just buzz cut in the shower like I do. Look how
Oh my
easy.
God,
I don't even have to comb
imagine
it.
me with like no hair. My hair is my beauty, I feel like. Okay, well, thank you so much.
My hair is my beauty. All right.
It is.
On that note,
Thank you so much for joining us today, guys, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
see ya.